Okay, Tuesday morning in the kingdom, and according to my kingdom followers, Manitoba. In Manitoba, WHO-ville was the hot spot yesterday at plus 16 degrees. I call lies, all lies, because if it was plus 16 Celsius, the bugs would have been out. We would have had 1,001 mosquitoes helping with the project of tearing down the shop. But I guess maybe it was just too cold for the little mosquito guys. So maybe they'll be out today because we're supposed to be warm again today. We knew it was warm because we were starting to break out in a sweat as we tore down the new shop. Okay, this morning at 7 o'clock, it was plus 5 Celsius, but feels like plus 1, so it's not freezing. And then on the yo-yo scale, 41 Fahrenheit. Feels like 34 Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's warm, eh? 34. We're not sure what the month of May's number is going to be brought to you because the yo-yo scale and the Celsius scale are two different number categories, up and down. Okay, all right. Yesterday on the video, I made a mistake again for the first time in my life. Yes, the me phone, the staff took the me phone and sent the pictures to me, edited or where the film or the videos or whatever, and then they scrambled them. So I got 75 pictures and film all scrambled. It's like a deck of cards. It was dropped on the floor. Nothing was in order. So I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. It was unreal. So drama added to my life all because of some stupid computer. Oh yes, my ExplorerNet email thing's not working. Okay, when I got my Elon Musk Starlink dish, I kept my ExplorerNet dish as a backup sort of thing, because I've had it since like 20 years. So, all right. So that service at ExplorerNet used to be good. Now they got us down to 20 years later, you can't even open an email with them. Yeah, isn't that unreal? So it hasn't worked in the last 2 days. So it's pretty bad when you got to use Elon Musk's dish to check your emails on the ExplorerNet dish. Yeah, it's just unreal, and it's not working. So that's how I gotta find out. So then it's just unreal. There's no service anymore in the world. This internet and crap. It's unreal. Oh, I'm just such a drama queen today. Okay. So I was gonna talk over there, but there's a slight breeze. I don't know if you can see the flag exercise there. Look at him go. All right. Okay, but I was going to stand over there and talk about the ramp boat. Okay, we built that. Some guy came from BC and the town of WHO-ville gave him money and grants and everything to build an aluminum boat, which was the ugliest boat in the world. All right? So here's these people cater to an outsider who's just here for the government money and grants, and then he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. So somebody like me, 26 years later, standing here holding a stick, still promoting the shithole town. Oops. I mean, this not very popular town, okay? I get nothing, nothing. So I just laugh. But back then, 2000, I think it was, 2000, I told this guy I could build a better boat out of a petroleum tank than he could out of aluminum and stuff. So we got drunk for 4 days and built the ramp boat. Yeah, so it worked out pretty good. And then we put it in storage in the bottom of Reindeer Lake for 7 years, yada, 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 whatever. But I'll do a close-up video over there. So standing here, pointing to the boat over there doesn't make sense, so we can tell the details and everything like that. We'll do that later if there's no wind, okay? But today the staff will be over, and we're going to tear the rest of the shop down. Okay, we got a lot of good salvage, okay? To get away from the taxes or the permitting people, we put the walls up on a beam there, and we bolted everything to petroleum tanks or these tank sheds so that it was not a freestanding building. It was just there. It was up off the ground, okay? So we'll get the rest of this wall down. We're getting lots of firewood too. The snow is slowly melting so we can get some of this stuff out of the shop here, or the parking pad, I guess you would say. Oh, and then hopefully if it dries up, we can go for a quad ride. See, there's the breeze. We've done a full circle. We're not sure what we're going to do with the boxcar yet. We'll just clean it out and everything like that and make it look pretty, okay? But we won't paint it because it has to stay the CNR colors or whatever for 1926. All right, that is a slight breeze. I imagine you guys are picking it up. All right, I am facing directly east. You guys are facing west. You guys are looking that way. The sun is straight up there for me. So it's getting good. So in another month's time, the sun's going to be over there in the north. Yes, you guys are confused when I said the sun came up in the south in December. Ha! In July, I'm going to tell you the sun came up in the north. In fact, it didn't go down. It's still daylight. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why we stay up here. It's not because of the mosquitoes, and it's too far for the ex-wife to drive by, drive up here and want to cuddle and waddle or whatever, cuddly wuddly on the couch. All right. Well, I better go. The boss is coming. Okay, I'm in the shop because the computer is acting all weird. I can't get log into the email account on ExploreNet, and I went to the MTS or Bell MTS website to log in to see my phone bills and stuff like that. Can't log in, so just give up, just walk away. So I'm out in the shop here, and the package came in the mail today. You see, the staff went and picked it up. So I ordered these from Princess Auto last week. Okay. And they came from Medicine Hat according to the bill or the online tracking. So this was $59 for Hobart 7018, 332nd. And these here are $29.99, okay, because you had no 10 pounds of the 1/8 rod. So I saved 1 cent or something. So that's unreal, because we can't afford that Lincoln Excalibur anymore. But these rods will do just as good, and we find, oh, these lips need more vodka. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, but we find these Hobart rods, if they get stuck, when you wiggle the rod to get going again, the flux does not break off like the Excaliburs do. Okay, so I better get to work. The boss is coming. Okay, the joys of using recycled steel that's probably about 50, 60 years old because it came from the mine here is we're using up the bent pieces, okay? Yes, the bent pieces, because what else we're going to do with it? So this H-beam here has a little twist to it. I don't know if you can see it there, but when you line it up here, it's almost a finger or whatever. Just a little bit of detail there. But that's no problem. I got a welder, and I can buff it out to make it look good, as they say on Facebook. I mean, drama book. Okay, we're going to burn it. Okay, the lips here. We're burning 332nd rods here. Okay, there's the 332nds. There's the 1/8. And then here's the mistake rods, or the sticky rods, or the stuck rods. Okay, to burn the 332nd on here, I'll show you what we did. Since we're in Wilderness, Alaska, we're not having to run the heat in the house or the other shed, so we're able to use the BuzzBox welder. So that's the markings there for my memory and for the YouTube viewers for 332nd. All right, so we left it over here. I don't know if we can see the knob there. Okay, I'm burning at the 1/8 temperature. Okay, burning the 1/8 rod. Burning the 332nd rod. Oh, these lips need the vodka. Okay, let's start again here. Burning the 332nd rod on the 1/8 heat, and then we're filling in here. So we're burning it hot, and we're using a filler rod, which is the stuck rods or the sticky rods with the flux off. So we're basically oxyacetylene welding or TIG welding to fill in this gap here. We're not farting around, and we just get it done, okay? I'm not getting into details of the amperage or anything like that, because who cares? All welders are different, and that stems from the power supply coming into your house or whatever. We're at the end of the world. We have a different power supply. It's not the full 220 amps or whatever it is coming in here, the 220s or whatever. It's whatever they can give us that day. So that's why we have to weld using different techniques and such like that. Also too, I forgot to mention that I'm doing this weld uphand because I can control the bead a lot better and filling in that gap using the filler rod. And here's the little debris pile for the flux as you give it love taps to get it to fall off. Also too, at Wilderness, Alaska here, we cannot use the air chipper, okay, for taking the slag off the welds or whatever, because if you leave the welder running, grab the chipper, do a little rat-a-tat-tat to get rid of the slag, the air compressor cuts in, and now we're all in the dark. Yes, we only have 200 amps of power coming here, so I'm limited on what I'm doing. If I was using the gas-powered welder over there and heating the shop up at the same time, then I could use the air compressor anytime and use the air chipper. Okay, this is turning out well. We got the wobble plate on, we got the holes here filled in, and the plate or the pipe or the swivel tube is in, or the swivel pipe or whatever you want to call it. We'll just make up these names as we go along. Okay, I better get back to work. Okay, the staff showed up with a load of firewood here. Yes, she's cleaning up the trees in her yard because her yard in WHO-ville will have a resale value when the gold mine starts here. Yeah, right. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and we're doing some welds here. and it looks like it's going to rain or snow outside. So the staff and I will regroup. Okay, the next part we got to tear down is this wall that's bolted to these tank sheds. But the problem we have here is these pallets are still frozen to the ground. Okay, I'm walking and talking. So the staff between her hauling the wood trees or the firewood over from her place over to here, she'll use the mini to scrape the snow away. Hopefully we can salvage these pallets without ripping them out in a fit of rage and breaking them. Okay, seems how the pallets are frozen. The flag exercise is enjoying the slight breeze. I got the Lily Tomlin mic covered, and that looks like rain or snow clouds. The weatherman lies to us all the time, like my ex-wife. Okay, we'll have lunch and we'll continue welding while the staff cleans her yard. Well, it rained pretty heavy at lunch there, but the weatherman didn't forecast that. But oh well. The staff and I made the right decisions to do stuff other than work in the yard tearing the new shop down. But just before lunch, I dragged in this piece of steel that was holding up the door frame or whatever at the new shop. So it's a little pitted or rusted, but this will work out good. So I can just cut it with the laser cutter, better known as the piece of shit plasma. So this is working out good. Okay, I moved to this side of the table, which I'm supposed to be on. Okay. Another thing too, you never weld this on solid. You only weld it to one side. So if anything goes wrong, the little stinger holder gets ripped off. Okay. If you weld it solid, then you got to deal with a bent piece. So we got this stump pan for the TD6, known as Aggie, is on here. The stump pan from Diesel, which will go on Kijiji. And we're putting it together, but everything is bent and sprung. So this plate here I cut out 25 years ago. It's fitting nice, but also I did short little welds here because I had to use the hammer to get it to fit nice. So now the main thing here is this is bent. Okay, I don't know if we can see it, but it's bent. I can't weld anymore because the main thing is the bolt holes have to be the right spacing apart to bolt onto the cat. We don't want to weld it and then try and get under there and make it fit. So now we have to stop, pause, do some measuring and some thinking and some drinking, and we'll continue on. Okay, this stump pan had been twisted or bent or whatever when they ripped the bottom of the stump pan off here. That was a long time ago when the earth was green. So what I did was a plasma cut in here with the laser. Okay, so then I cut it, pulled it with the chain block right here. All right, and then now it's good. So when I pulled it, I over pulled it, and then I did a quick uphand weld there, nothing pretty. And then I released it. It comes into the measurement of 22¼ right there. So at my age, we have to write everything down. So we're ready to get there so I can see it. All right, now we'll continue on the quest here because now we have to take the plasma cutter and cut it in here. And then this will pull out at the top, okay? And you can tell where it's bent because the paint is flaked off because that's where the stress was. So it's pretty easy to figure out what was going on here and how it happened. Okay, I cut a bunch of cuts in it with the plasma cutter. I welded some booger chain on and I pulled it out. So it's going pretty good. We're at the back part right here. But as I'm stretching it, as you'd say, with the chain block here, hooked to the overhead crane part, all right? I'm also beating it into submission with the hammer between the cuts to get the material to turn back to its natural shape. Okay, the true test was not when I welded it there. It's when I cut the plasma. We used the plasma cutter to cut these welds on this side, broke it free, and it didn't go boing and returned back to its natural state. So it's 22¼ inches from bolt hole to bolt hole. Then I was confident enough to cut on this side here. So now I can remove the stump pan, flip it over, and start welding. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and I finished up with this here. I laid this stump pan on its side with an angle because I did my welds uphand with the 3/32 rods, okay? So it turned out pretty good. Doing it uphand, I controlled the amount of material laid behind. I don't want big fat beads that, look ugly or anything. I just need to cover up those plasma and, the plasma cuts. And we just did a fine weld here just to cover up all the welds we did when we were at an angle. So it looks pretty. Okay, so now after coffee, we got to fill in this hole. Yes, somebody puts a big hole like that in the stump pan, and then the trees and everything goes up and hits the oil pan. So what's the point of having the stump pan when you got a hole like that? So we fill it in like we did on all the other cats. Okay, I didn't film any the drilling of the holes for the plate here because drilling a hole and then die grinding it out so the bolt will fit and everything like that. So we end up with a bunch of oval holes. Isn't very impressive for a video. Okay, so over here on the bigger stump pan, we got it flipped over and we're welding in here. So it's just a minor detail. But over here, okay, I'm going to burn the 3/32 rod in on that crack right there because it's greasy. Yes, it's greasy. I'm not spending time farting around trying to clean it. I'm just going to burn it in hot and have some booger welds. Okay, we worked an hour overtime because everything was going good. Now these stump pans are ready to go because we have the steel plate protecting the hole, and we got the big bar on the front, so that if you hit something, the bar takes it, not the bolts or anything like that. So this worked out good. Plus we marked the cats therefore, because at my age I forget. So we can put those two stump pans on. So that's only what, 20 years waiting or 25 years waiting. And then over here, we got the table set back up the way it's supposed to be. The welding cart was a rail car to go down the track bed to pick up broken track or switch parts or anything like that. It even had brakes on it, okay, because that's the lever right there to work the brakes and everything. So it was quite a design. They pulled it with a high rail, used it about twice a year, and it was always mine. I just rented it to them, so it worked out good. The railroad closed in 2003, so we put a steel plate on it. Yes, 1-inch steel plate, compliments of the mine when we were doing scrap. Okay, this turntable is designed to turn. So if you're welding on a bunk, you can turn it. All right? So everybody says we shouldn't have the one wheel. We should have two wheels, and then it's perfectly balanced. Well, when you're burning 3/16 rod to do a ski and stuff, well, you want it to flow uphand. So this is what the table does, okay? The swivel, you can actually turn it or wedge it so it's leaning a certain way, okay? I don't know if we got this. Maybe I should have the staff film me on this. But this table's been around over 20 years or whatever it is, or 25 or whatever. I forget what it is. But this thing works out pretty good. So we built the cart for the railroad, and we ended up building it for a welding table or whatever. And then we got the grinder for grinding. The vise is up nice and high, so that works out pretty good. But we also worked late because the plasma cutter, better known as the piece of shit, was actually cutting. I put a new tip in, and it's cutting 1/2-inch steel plate, no problems, okay? Totally amazing. Like this thing was having a good mood, so I cut the 4 plates that go down here at the end, okay? They get welded on right here, and then we start boxing in these swivel bunks, okay? So they're not quite done yet, but we got lots more to do. But now we got the cart or the welding table set up, we can have full production. And worked out good. We hid the day in out of the rain, and at quitting time the sun comes out. So let's go check on the flag of exercise. Okay, the staff was able to move those totes around to wherever the pallets in the new shop. So tomorrow, it's with this warm weather and the rain we had today, the ice should be melted and we continue on tearing this down. All right, let's check the flag exercise over here. Look at him go. And plus the staff made, I think, 4 trips cleaning up her yard to impress the people of WHO-ville. Plus it increases the resale value of her house when the mine opens up. So it'll be worth $200,000, $300,000. But we'll include the video here at the end here of her cleaning up. And okay, oh yeah, let's go walk the dogs. We're not picking up the pony as a rescue puppy because it's too muddy. It was decided when it was raining. All right, let's go drink some beer. Talk to you later.